Our quest to try every steakhouse in America has brought us to Miami, Florida, to a seafood restaurant rated in the top 100 steakhouses in the world. Despite the fact that it's named after its signature seafood dish, it's often regarded as the best modern steakhouse in Florida. We're Kristin and Will, and today we're trying Klaw. Like always, we wanted to see what people thought of it. Margarita says, best fine dining restaurant in town. Food is at a whole different level. Carefully aged ribeye steak was to die for. Fantastic service in a very elegant setting. I am a regular in my visits to Miami when I come to town from NYC. 5 stars. Margarita sounds like my kind of girl. Sorry, Kristin. A lot of people say that New York City steakhouses are the best in the world, so coming here for your steak fix really says a lot. Nate says, this is by far one of the best happy hour spots I've been to in Miami. The food was incredible, the view and seating on the rooftop floor were beautiful, and the service was exceptional. 5 stars. Luckily, we're here for happy hour too, so we'll be able to try a bit more food without going completely broke. Plus, the views from the rooftop look incredible. Lisa says absolutely perfect, from the service to the ambiance to the decor. And did I mention the food? This is easily the best steakhouse in Miami. 5 stars. Sounds like Klaw is poised to take a crack at our top spot. Let's give it a try.
We're starting on the rooftop for happy hour, and it is absolutely magnificent up here. All I see is blue and boats. It is beautiful. I also love the decor. I love all the plants and the rattan elements. We just got our drinks. I decided on the cocktail of the week, which is supposed to taste like an orange creamsicle. Let's see how it is. Ooh, wow, that is so good. It's definitely creamy. I was expecting it to be super sweet, and it's really not. I also love how sparkling it is. Like, it's definitely got some bubbles to it, and I really like that. All right, I might just try Will's for you too. He got the trip to Oaxaca, which seems like their spin on a margarita. Ooh. Wow, it definitely tastes like a margarita, but almost like a little bit more light and refreshing.
That's surprising. It has mezcal in it.
I know, it's not super smoky. Kind of seems more tequila based to me. These are really good. I'm excited to try the snacks. So on the menu up here, they have some snacks for $12. They have some entrees which are a little bit more expensive, but since we're gonna eat downstairs, we just stuck to the snacks. So we got the lobster gougères and the beef tacos. I think I might try this lobster gougère first, which is basically lobster stuffed in a pastry. The portions are a little smaller. It only comes with 2 things per snack. Let's give it a try. Ooh. The lobster is so fresh. It's so nice and sweet, and I love that mayo sauce that it's in. The bread, it's more of a bread and not a pastry. It's not sweet at all, and it's a really great compliment. It almost seems like a deconstructed lobster roll. It's really good and the perfect thing to eat with this sort of view. Next, let's try this beef taco. That is absolutely incredible. Honestly, maybe one of the best beef tacos I've ever had. The tortilla is so fresh, it seems homemade. And then the beef is so flavorful. There's this creamy sauce on top. I love the complement of cilantro. You're really gonna enjoy that with the marg. I'm very excited for you.
I cannot get over the view from up here. It is spectacular, and the service has been phenomenal so far. If it's this good up here, I'm sure it's gonna be just as good, if not better, downstairs. But let's try some of this food. Wow, this seems so soft. Make sure I get a lot of that lobster. The bread, to me, tastes like a miniature bougie version of the Panera bread bowl, but with lobster in it. They only give you 2 tacos, but this thing is fully stuffed. I have a feeling it's gonna get very messy. Wow. This is some of the best beef I've ever had in a taco. I have a feeling our steak is going to be fantastic. Klaw has one of the coolest menus I've ever seen. Not only do they have an extensive list of steaks, you can actually see the ranch where each of them came from. It's certainly not cheap though. Even the butcher's cut is $63, and their sides will run you $18 a piece. On our recent trip to Orlando, we were pretty surprised by the number of cattle ranches we passed. Florida probably isn't the first state you think of as a cattle producer, but it's actually the 9th most producing state in the country. The name of the breed here is the Florida Cracker, which are smaller and leaner than most breeds to withstand the intense heat. Since we've never seen it on the menu before, we decided to go with the 25-ounce Florida Cracker bone-in ribeye from Stafford's Prairie Ranch and the golden sweet potatoes, which are prepared tableside. Our waiter said that the steak has an intense flavor, so I am so excited to give it a try.
We ordered the jalapeno cornbread as a starter, but I just want to talk about the ambiance really quick. It is absolutely stunning. I didn't think it could get any better from being upstairs with that gorgeous view of the water and all the boats, but we still have the view down here. We're sitting right in the window. I just can't get over how beautiful all the decor is. I feel like I'm in a really upscaled library, but I also kind of feel like I'm outside because there are all these plants around. I also love the lighting. It's absolutely amazing. Okay, I digress. Let's try this jalapeno cornbread. So it seems like there might be a little bit of jalapeno in the bread, but there's a lot of jalapeno in the butter. It also looks nice and salted. Let's give it a try.
Nice and salted is an understatement. There is a lot of salt on top.
There's a lot of salt. And it also feels really heavy. Wow, that is incredible. I'm not sure what I was expecting, but this is so unique. I love how the cornbread kind of has the sweetness, but then also the spice from the jalapeno. It is such a great compliment. I love how salty it is, and then also how creamy the butter makes it all.
I know I'm not normally the ambiance guy, but this is one of the most beautiful restaurants I've ever seen. The decor in here is spectacular. I'm very excited for this bread. I also love the amount of serving salt that is all over this bread, and it comes out in a hot skillet. Let's give it a try. Wow, truly some of the best bread I've ever had at a restaurant. And you do have to pay for it, obviously, but it is so good. It is so worth it. The jalapeno and the cornbread just work together perfectly. I love those salt flakes on top. And the top is like a little charred, so it adds like a little crunchiness. Excellent.
We just got our food and everything looks incredible. The sun's starting to set. The ambiance is still amazing. Okay, let's give this a try. I'm gonna start with the golden sweet potato, which has miso leek butter, a ton of cheese. It was made tableside. Our waiter literally was like torching the cheese, so it got all nice and caramelized on top. And then it's topped with some scallions. Let's give it a try. That is so good. Oh my God, that sweet potato has the perfect consistency. Like sometimes I feel like with sweet potatoes it's a little stringy. This is not at all. It is so smooth. There is so many flavors. It is just so decadent with all that cheese and butter, and the sweet to salty combination is absolutely amazing.
When our waiter was recommending sides, I was saying that I don't normally love sweet potatoes, and he said that any person, even if you hate sweet potatoes, would like this sweet potato. And when I saw the amount of butter he put on top, I could see why. The ingredients in this are probably the most decadent I think I've ever seen in any food. Miso leek butter, Okinawa sugar, pecorino cheese. Like, how crazy is that? Let's give it a try. Wow, that is incredible. I could barely even tell you what I'm tasting. There's so many flavors going on. It's almost like a mix between dessert and savory. It is so good. It's so cheesy. Definitely the best sweet potato I've ever had.
Okay, let's finally try the main event, the steak. I love seeing these big flakes of salt on top. It looks so nice and charred. I would say it might be a little bit more rare than medium rare, but I have a feeling this is gonna be incredible. Wow, that flavor is so bold. I love the crunch you get from the char. It's perfectly salted. That flavor is so unique. It doesn't really taste like a dry aged flavor to me. Just the meat itself seems packed with this boldness. So the steak came with two sauces, a truffle sauce and then a peppercorn sauce. I think I'm gonna start with the truffle sauce. It seems very creamy. Ooh. I feel like a lot of times when I have sauces, it just overpowers the steak, but that actually accentuated the steak flavor. So it didn't really take away, but it just added this extra creaminess, which is So good. All right, let's try this peppercorn sauce. That has a kick to it. Honestly, a little too peppery in my opinion. I think I'd prefer the steak alone or with this truffle sauce. This truffle sauce is really good.
Wow, that is one of the most flavorful and unique steaks I've ever had in my entire life. The consistency is almost like a filet, but the flavor is more like a ribeye. It is definitely fatty, you can see the fat, but it does not have any chew, and it doesn't taste very fatty. Oh my God. All right, let's try these sauces. That's real truffle in there. The sauce is almost more brown than white. All right, let's start with the truffle sauce. Wow. Normally, when we come to these places, we avoid the sauces like the plague because I feel like they just take away from the steak. But that is probably the best steak sauce I've ever had in my entire life. That is fantastic. I could definitely eat a whole entire steak with that. I don't want to waste it on such a amazing, expensive steak, but if I had that thing at home, I would probably be using that on steaks literally all the time. Let's try this peppercorn. Whoa, it certainly tastes like peppercorn. That is strong pepper flavor. I don't even think I put that much on it either. It's good, but it's a little too much for me. So I was reading online that all the steaks here are dry aged a minimum of 30 days, but our waiter said that it's just the bone-in steaks that are dry aged a minimum of 30 days. This one you definitely do taste that dry aged flavor, and I think it would be more prominent in a different one of the steaks here because this one just has such a unique flavor on its own. The flavor itself is amazing. It's not that dry aged forward, but you definitely do taste it a little bit. It is phenomenal.
Can't let any of this steak go to waste. Wow, some of the best bites. Really good. Sorry about the lighting. It keeps getting darker and darker in here, but honestly, it just makes this place more and more beautiful, if you can believe it. The lighting is just spectacular. Sorry we keep talking about the ambiance. I just can't get over it. All right, let's move into this dessert. This is the chocolate crunch bar. It's chocolate mousse, hazelnut, coffee toffee, and vanilla ice cream. I also just can't get over the presentation. Let's give this thing a try. Ooh. That is rich. Super chocolatey, very heavy. Honestly, a little bit more heavy than I was expecting. You definitely need that ice cream to cut it a little bit, but it is delicious. I taste the hazelnut. It has a little bit of crunch in there. I feel like the coffee just accentuates that chocolate flavor.
The presentation of this is magnificent. There are these little flowers on top and these candied nuts, and they put this little chocolate happy birthday sign on there for Kristen's birthday. It's a little more hazelnut than dark chocolate, I would say, and a bit on the heavy side, but still good. Everything we had to eat was incredible. The service was great, and I'll say one more time, the ambiance was truly one of a kind, probably the best we've ever been to. But let us know what you guys have thought of it. Make sure to like and subscribe if you enjoyed the video, and we'll see you in the next one.